as to how they would go about obtaining a settlement which enshrines the rule of law in Cyprus, so we can have a lasting solution, which is a just solution, so we're not in the same position in 10 years' time. And then a question, short question for Constantine. I was quite alarmed to hear that there's a deadline for filing the claims in the IPC, and naturally if we miss the deadline, my understanding is that we would lose our right to make any claims for restitution to the IPC. And given that we have to make those claims before we go to the European Court of Human Rights, is it not incredibly important that if we don't have a settlement in September or sometime this year, that there is a coordinated action taken in Cyprus for mass claims to be made to the IPC before we lose our rights altogether? Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Maria. In relation to Greece, Greece gave the world not just democracy but ethics. Title of the book by Aristotle. And we need to reintroduce them to modern Greece, the principles and values of ancient Greece. That's the way we're going to rebuild not just the Greek economy but the Greek society, which has collapsed in recent years. As I explained, there's far too much corruption. And we can't have a guaranteeing power of the Republic of Cyprus mining the corruption that we've seen in recent years under all governing parties. And my answer to your second question, what advice do I give the politicians and the negotiators? It's extremely difficult to answer, and I'm not going to answer it, save to the extent that I will remind you and everybody in this room and everybody in Cyprus to go and buy or borrow the new book by Lord Bingham. It's called The Rule of Law. It's published by Alan Lane, and it's £20. If you go to the website of the Law Society, it's £15. This is the key. The principles in this book should be endorsed and embraced by everybody in Cyprus. And Lord Bingham has written this book with the international stage partly in mind.
Thank you. Final question for Constantine on the deadline.
I agree with Maria. There is a deadline. Failing the deadline, everything will be lost. And I agree with you that after the negotiations come to an end, people should be organised and assisted, to claim their rights. I've said this in Cyprus, and suddenly, after being a national hero between January the 20th until March the 5th, now I'm a national traitor. So that's the situation is the same.
I will now draw the meeting to a close. I will just finish by saying I'm sure you'll agree that we've had some excellent speeches from lawyers and from Mr. Apostolides, and I think we don't do enough of this in the community in London. I think it's very important, this sort of debates, and I hope we have more of them, and we will have more of them. We do lots in this lobby. It's also important, and I thank Mr. McCormick and his team for coming, because it's important for us and the investors of Cyprus and the Consul General of Cyprus that all these individuals who are working on a solution in secret hear what we have to say. And why should they hear what we have to say? Because we, at the end of the day, are going to be the ones that vote on it. So, if you want a solution, Mr. McCormick and everybody else here, I hope you were listening carefully, because Mr. Apostolides made it blatantly clear as to what he wants and what people like him want. They want to go home. And I'll leave the session on that note. Thank you very much. Drinks and canapes in the back, please stay with us.